In this tutorial, we're going to talk about how to create our first list and table, and these are going to be simple lists and tables. So first, before we do that, we want to talk about how to open a list and table file with the style sheet. Also, we want to make sure that every time we do a project, we have a project root folder, and I've just called my folder a project root folder. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but you want to make sure that all the files are located inside of this root folder. So if we have a very big website with lots of files, they'll all be inside this root folder. Then, we're starting out from scratch on this project for list and tables, so you're going to actually have to go in and create the HTML file and create the styles.css file. But I've already created them so that we can get started actually creating our list and table and then developing the styles within that. So we're going to open our text editor of choice, and it happens to be Sublime Text 2 is the one that I'm going to use for this project. So if I just click on the actual app down there, if I actually click on the icon down here, it'll just pull up a new file. You can also do this file, new file, that way. Or if you want to navigate to the project folder, which is what I recommend, go File, Open, which is also Command O. And then I've already navigated directly to my project root folder, but say you're like right here on the desktop or something, and you don't know where this file is. One cool thing, if you don't know where a file is and you want to open it, you can actually click on the folder itself and then hit Command I, and it'll show you the path right here. So it shows you this is actually the info tab, so it'll show you all of the specifications for this file, but the where location is right here. So all files. So I need to go find all files, and then files for web design class, and then my project root folder. So if I select that and then hit open, it'll pull up my folder hierarchy, and then with the files inside it. So then I can just focus on the files that are inside that root folder. So, and then what you're going to do once you do that is you would actually just create your files. So I've already created them and called them .html and then .css files. And you can see I have a basic outline for pretty much any website that I start creating. Focuses on these aspects. Anytime you want to save it, you can also use this project folder info tab if you need help navigating to it. Because what happens is when you finish your list and your table.html, or say you start it and you want to save it, you go to File, Save, File, Save As, and if you're saving it for the first time and you don't have a project root folder, this usually goes where, and it usually starts like a Macintosh HD. You want to make sure that the files stay in the same place. So you can do the same thing. If you don't know where this folder is and you want it to be in this root folder, you just do the Command I, pull up the where location, and then navigate to it. Open a new folder and navigate to it. All files. Files for web design class, and here's the folder. So I'm just going to actually drag that folder on top of the where location, and you'll see it once I let go. I just click and drag, and I let go, it'll actually replace the where, and it'll just drop it right there inside the project root folder, and it's replacing it because there already is a file there. And then from there we can start working within this project root folder. So if I want to open this file in a browser, I just double click it and it's going to open that file. So you can see it's very basic. There's no styles set up on it yet, other than our default styles. You can see I've set up a few default things that I want to make sure that we start out with, and I just decided to go ahead and declare the font, and then we want to make sure that we have specifically these two CSS. Initially, we want to have the article, header, nav, aside, and footer, and any HTML divs that we have as display block, because that's not automatic. And the body tag, we want to make sure that we automatically have no margin and no padding, because it will give us a default of margin. And then we want to declare our font family if we have a specific font family we want to focus on. So I'm just going to make sure it's saved. All right, so let's go back to list and table.html, and we're going to start putting this together. You should have some sort of boilerplate for your HTML website page, and probably it's going to look like this. This is really all you need to get started in HTML5 is a doc type HTML opening tag, the head tag opening and closing, the opening and closing body tag, and then the closing HTML tag. Make sure they're in that order. And then these are the other pieces that I've added. I've already created my link to the style sheet, which is link, the rel is the attribute, and then style sheet is the name, type is the attribute, text CSS is the name, and then ref is the attribute, and styles.css is the actual location that I'm going to pull from. Because styles.css is in the same folder, so I don't have to do any sort of locating that file. It's right there in the root folder. And then the title, you can see that it is a standard thing, and that's actually what shows up here. That's the title. You can also see that I've created a hierarchy of these different tags. So the head tag is a parent tag of these two tags. So this is considered a child tag, link tag of the head tag itself, the head section. And actually, we also have hierarchy tags inside the body section. So you can see, anytime I have a hierarchy, I have spaces in between so that I can tell the different hierarchy levels. That's going to be important as you try to navigate to figure out where all of your document files are and how they're working together. It's going to be really important that you organize everything as you go through this class. So I've created the body tag, and you don't need to have these div ID containers, anything started up. You can see I've created a header tag here to show exactly what this page is going to be. So that's something you'll do for most pages. And the nav section is just where my nav menu usually goes. I don't have anything there right now, so I can actually just delete that. And then my div ID content is where I'm going to put the specific content that I want to add for my table. So again, I don't have to have this right now because I don't have any divs set up with CSS, so I can delete all of this. So we're going to create the list and table in the next tutorial, so I'll see you in a second. So UL is going to be unordered, meaning it's going to be bullets it's going to be used automatically, and an ordered list is going to be numbers. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 as our list formatting. So then I can go in and create a list item, and of course you can change this to an ordered list if you'd like. I'm going to start with unordered list. So li is the first list item, and you can create the first list item here, which I'm going to call guitar. And but in order to know what the list is, you want to create a header before the list. So you have the list item, and then above it you can create a header tag. And this is my h1 tag, so I'm going to say what this list is going to be, and say my top 3 favorite things. Save. Or I might say top 3 favorite things to do. And so I've created my first list item, which is guitar. And then from there, if I want to do that again, I just create another list item. Make sure to keep the hierarchy with my tabbed sections. And then my top 3 favorite things is guitar, sports, refresh. And I'm kind of a nerd, so let's just say books. Save. Refresh. Now there's 3 list items. So I'll create my third item.